PSACs 2024 indoors. We're taking a look at the men's race here. Shippensburg coming into this, and you've had a really fantastic season so far across the board with a lot of depth, a lot of contributions from veterans and from newcomers. We'll be talking about that as we go here with Coach Osanitsch and discuss how the Raiders are coming together. But real quick, too, off the top, for those that, if they haven't watched the women's preview, new change in venue up at Lehigh University, and you had several men who performed very well in their time that they competed there back in December. Just talk about sort of the change in routine and, having the men in the position to be ready to compete and do well.
Yeah, Bill, we're going to be at Lehigh University this year for our conference championship, another neutral site for our conference. We're trying to find the best venues that we can available for our conference championship so our student athletes have that championship experience. Lehigh stepped up for us when we were kind of in a crisis mode and was able to help us out. We are a little bit early. Normally the conference championship will be at the end of next week instead of the beginning of next week. So we're going to be Sunday, Monday for our conference championship rather than at the end of the week. But that's okay. It's only 5 or 6 days difference, but it definitely challenged myself and my coaching staff with a little bit of condensed situation with periodization and cycles and taper. So we're excited. Our coaching staff has been together for a long, long time, one of the best in Division II, and I think we did a really good job of getting them ready for this moment.
The conference continues to push and get harder in terms of getting to the conference meet. Standards are more rigid, and depending on some of the events too, there's a lot of challenge because there's just some deep events based on how some schools have their talent. So, from that standpoint as well, so many of our men have qualified despite those rigid standards. So it'll be nice to see a whole wide variety of Raiders this weekend. Some in multiple events, some in one or two, but all in a position to potentially try to contribute toward that team score.
My old saying for the last 20 years, balance wins championships. There's been a few situations throughout the years where a team that wasn't balanced in our conference was able to pull off a championship. And that was very minute, though. Balance wins championships, and our men's team is very well balanced. It's kind of hard to find a gap in the armor on the men's side. And we're not 100%, which is crazy. I think outdoors, this team is going to be unbelievable if we can get completely healthy, because there's 3 or 4 stalwarts that we don't have at the meet that haven't been indoor, that we're going to be adding outdoors. So I'm very excited even for the future. But we're here to talk about the indoor championship right now and the people that are going to be competing at this meet. And so I'm excited for this group. Obviously, I think we could do really, really well.
One of the finer examples on the men's team of having a mixture of veterans and newcomers is right there in the sprints. You've got Eric and you've got Eric Kirk and Mo Whittle, who are the stalwarts who've given you many points in the past.
A lot of championships.
And you've got people like LeVar Jackson, Jack Kearney, and Bernard Bell, who are also into that mix as freshmen. It's got to be an exciting group that you and Doug Knoll have worked with this year.
It's been a great blend of veterans who have gotten the job done and incredibly talented freshmen who have stepped up throughout the season and will be counted on in the future and right now. And also in that group that you just mentioned as well, Giovanni Daniel, who's in his second year with us. He has taken leaps in my hurdle, working with him in the high hurdles. He has taken leaps and bounds forward. So he is also now in that top 10 list with Bernard. So that is what the group you just mentioned there is kind of the center of that sprints and hurdles group, along with Tegan Weaver as well. Tegan will be participating, and also Robbie Herboski and Travis Bigham as well in the 400. Again, veterans who have gotten it done, been here, are on top 10 lists, things in that, school record holders and things like that. So it's a great group. It's a lot of fun, and they've worked so well together, bringing the new freshmen in and kind of showing them the way and giving them the confidence.
Well, and that's what I wanted to maybe briefly touch on too for the folks at home, is like they seem to be so well together cohesive wise, but I have to imagine they push each other too to be like, even just in the hurdles, it's been ironic in the last couple of weeks because Gio would have a mark and then Bernard has passed him again. Bernard had it originally, but it's friendly competition in that sense, but also they all just, I feel like they mutually want the best in each other. So they're working hard and they're also bringing out the best in each other.
I mean, Eric Kirk's been a fantastic captain. He is, he's the man, right? So he has done a wonderful job with the young talent of showing them the right way and just being a great leader by example. And he's starting to come around here right at the right time, which I'm really excited. He had a great meet down at Liberty. So he's excited. I'm excited. We're all excited. It's just I'm excited to see what this team looks like as a championship team and see what they can do on Sunday, Monday. It's one of my event groups that I'm really looking forward to watching.
Mid-distance and distance, coming off of a men's cross-country conference championship.
Yeah.
And several of those
exciting.
contributors now successfully making their transition into the mid-distance events. And I feel like, too, for the point of getting to the conference meet, it wasn't that these guys wanted to, bowl everyone over with a time early on. You want to get to the meet. They've gotten to the meet. You have several different contributors in different events. And now it's their time to put that time out.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of them, whereas the way Coach Spence kind of works through the indoor season, he's like, I'm just going to get you a qualifier, and then I'm going to get you ready for the conference meet. You're going to do well, and then I'm going to get you really ready for outdoor. That's kind of the way he's always done his philosophy. So a lot of these guys, even just getting their qualifier, still in the top 3, top 5 of the event. So I expect this group to be very, very good. So some of the same common names that you saw win that conference championship in cross country. It's really great. I think altogether this year we're going to have 14 men in different distance events, which is fantastic. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, some of the names that are always there: Hayden Hunt, Garrett. Great to see Drew Daly back finally. Mm-hmm. Drew's starting to kind of make that turn, recovering from injury. And he's healthy now, and he's going to be at the conference championship, and he's going to be battling with Chase Hensinger, who's had a fantastic indoor season.
This is in the 800.
In the 800, yeah. And then our new freshman, Tommy Crum, has just burst onto the scene. It's fantastic, continuing the tradition. Ian Sherlock, fantastic. He's ready for that steeple, but he's got to run the mile for me indoors first.
Well, but then in last year, for example, too, Ian comes and he wins the indoor track MVP for his performances indoors.
Yeah, Ian just showed up and did fantastic. Brennan's done wonderfully. As well, and then and also in the 5K we'll have Kevin Wagner and Nate Harding as well, who are great in cross country. So a really deep, strong group. So we should do very well. So balance.
Given that balance, that should make for some competitive 4x4 and DMR squads when we get to those relays as well.
Yeah, we'll
see.
But
it gives you options to be able to.
Yeah, we have a lot of insert pieces. We'll make some decisions on what we're going to do with the DMR
based on how you go.
Based on how we're going to do in the open events. So we'll see what we're going to do there. But lots of options. When you have a lot of talented runners, you can do a lot of different things. So
exactly.
We'll see what we can do and see how they come out. But I'm excited for the group. It's a strong group.
Taking a look over as you get into the field events too, we can begin with the. I guess more vertical jumps in a way, and you've got
vertical horizontal.
Correct. Yeah, horizon is how I remember.
That's right. Vertical blinds. That's how I always tell people. Vertical blinds. Okay.
Kenny Ryan, Robbie Listener. Robbie's going to be competing in the multis for you, but he has just continued to progress so well as a pole vaulter. Yeah. And Kenny's had a couple of good performances during the indoor season, close to his PR. So they're trying to hit that stride and pop some points for you in those events.
Yeah, Kenny's consistently been around 2 meters, which is great, and really want to put together a good conference championship. He's worked really hard, and we fixed a lot of things from the outdoor season last year. So I'm expecting some good results from him. And Robert just loves the pole vault, so even though he's a great decathlete, he just loves that vault. So he's been doing a lot of work there. The conference is very strong in the pole vault this
unbelievably
year, which is great. I'm thrilled for it because it's been down a few years in the past, and now it's kind of roared back. And I'm one of my favorite events to watch, and I'm very excited to see the great vaulters from around the conference battle. A lot of good vaulters in the conference right now, and Robert will be in there as well. Obviously, he's got to jump out of the multi and get in there. He'll score some points, but it'll be really one of my favorite events. I'm excited to see this weekend will be the pole vault, man.
Taking a look at some of the long and the triple. It's again a group that you've worked with at time, but also as you mentioned in our women's preview, if you haven't watched that, folks, Coach Sarah Hewitt has also been working with those jumpers as well, and you've gotten some personal bests out of people like Jabri Gaiman and Darian Wrestler, and of course you've still got Mo and others who will be challenging each other and trying to get another competitive event too. Those 2 events, so. They'll be trying to put their best foot forward out there. Jabri last year in outdoors, has a memorable triple jump. Mm-hmm. Mo's hitting the 7 meter mark, if I recall, in the long jump. Yeah. So let's see what these guys can do, right?
Yeah, we're excited. The long jump, we're going to feature, Mo is just got to hit the right spot, and he can pop really big jumps. His run has been outstanding, kind of putting everything together. We're also going to jump Jack Kearney. Jack, our great 400 runner, is a really, really good long jumper. We just haven't jumped him much. I'm going to try to jump a little bit more outdoors, but he's going to come down the runway a few times for us just to see what he can do and then get ready for the 400 later in the day. Jack has only jumped twice indoors, and the second one he jumped over 7 meters. So
and Lehigh might have been
and Lehigh's where he did it. So he's familiar and comfortable with the runway. So and then like you said, Darian's done a really nice job. Was able to hit a conference qualifier last week, and then Tegan as well, I believe, will make the jumping field as well. So we have four in the long jump, which is really exciting. And then the triple, at the end of the meet, we'll see kind of where we're stacked up and points-wise, and then we've got Darian and Jabri, and then we'll see if we call upon Mo to give us a little bit of a boost there, depending on where we are in the meet at that point.
Sure.
So.
And then transitioning into throws, one of the stalwarts is still here in Josh Herbster, and he's already set a school record in the weight throw earlier this season. And of the youth, one of the areas, obviously, where the most youth has showed up is in the throws. Gian Grego had a really good start in the fall with his shot, and you've had a couple of other people, Donovan and Colin and others who are in Ridge, who are, trying to get into that mix as freshmen between the shot and the weight. Seems like the group, imagine too, that's another group that probably thrives together and gets along with one another, and they're trying to hit their mark now as you get into, this is the time.
Could not be happier with the 4 freshmen we brought in. They just gelled right away. Josh took them under his wing, and the future looks so great. I'm very excited for the throws. It's a young group, all those freshmen, and they all qualified for events, and some will score, which is fantastic. And Josh is going to chase in that weight throw. He's going to be chasing that 20-meter mark to try to get to nationals. So I'm very excited.
He's right on the cusp.
He's right on the
now,
cusp.
Right?
Yeah, I think his school record is 1941 in metric, and so I think he's close. He's just got to try to hit that one throw. So that's really, really excited. So I'm pumped for the group. They're pumped. They're a very energetic group. They are, they're really a battery that really gets the team going.
Off each other.
So I'm excited for them, and I'm looking forward to seeing them. And they've adjusted to the college implement change very well. So I credit their
things like
coaching and strength program and attitude has really been great for that group. And I think they're just going to get better and better. So I'm really, really excited about it. So.
And we'll conclude with the multis. And
never forget the multis.
Never can forget it. And if you don't forget last year, too, Mason Boyd had, a historic indoor meet last year. Mason, and you've got Robbie, and you've got Ryan, and what an exciting group of decathletes that you're going to be able to put out, or heptathletes that you're going to be able to put out.
Heptathletes inside. I love the multi. It's my favorite event to coach overall. And we have a great group. Mason has been the standard for us. He's the conference record holder indoors. He's chasing a mark to try to get him to nationals. The national list is so challenging.
It's such a competitive event.
Yeah, I think he scored 5,129 points this year. I think he's going to have to do about 150 points more, somewhere in there, and I think he can do it. I think he can put it all together. It's just such a challenge to get those maximum efforts in every event all in those 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's such a challenge. But he is really coming around and looks really good. So I'm excited. Robert Lisner is just overachieved beyond when I first recruited him where he is now.
Pride of Carlisle.
Just fantastic, hard worker, grinder, one of the easiest guys I've ever been able to coach. Just is really, really competitive too. He'll come in there, and we really want to go 1-2. That's where we are right now on paper, and I want to go 1-2, and I want those guys to both have personal best. And Ryan Murphy has done a great job of continued development. Our goal with him is to be top 8 and also to have a personal best. And Noah Bankert, our freshman, just slipped in.
Did good.
Yeah, he was 14th. So he's going to get his first conference meet experience as well. So a nice healthy group of four heptathletes for the conference championship. So like I said on the men's side, it's kind of hard to look through the list and be like, well, they're a little weak here. It doesn't really happen on the men's side. So, we have some goals with the men's team. I think we'd have to have a great meet. But I don't think over 200 points this year might be out of the question. So I'm not exactly sure what we hold the conference record for total points. I'm not sure what it is exactly off the top of my head, but I think we can chase it. If we have a great first day, we can kind of be like, all right, we're going to chase this. But I think we're going to be really tough to beat this year as far as it goes. Slippery Rock and East Stroudsburg do a phenomenal job with their programs. They're very, very good. Last year, their men's team was within 30, 35 points of us. Mm-hmm. They did a fantastic job last year. A little bit of a gap this year, but hey, you never know. And I try to explain this to these guys all the time. When you win so many conference championships in a row, don't get complacent. You know, those teams want to win, and they're going to come in there guns blazing, and we got to do the same thing. You know what I mean? And you just got to come in with an attitude. You can't sleepwalk through these things. You know, these are conference championship, and when the meets start, it's 0-0.
Yep.
So you have to come in with a fire, and you know, I'm trying to get them motivated to maybe we can chase the all-time conference points scoring.
And that's something too that, especially as you get to that 24-hour mark or so before the meet, you want to impart on them one more time. Is hey, don't forget the last 2-3 months that you've been doing
right
to get to this point. Now's your time to not be complacent and to go out there and show the league what you've got.
Right. Show them what the program that we are.
And that league is the PSAC. So we encourage you on Sunday and Monday to check out the men's indoor track and field championships. Lehigh University the host. If you can't make it out to Lehigh, visit psacsports.org and shipraiders.com for the links to the live video and the live results and all that good stuff as well. Coach O,
yeah,
good luck up there.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time.